welcome to Ikate's Crossing. Okay, indie decks. Now, some of these are Kickstarters, a gift, some from websites, some from, yeah, all sorts there. Oh, and Game Crafter, of course. Okay, so where do we begin? Let me pull off these, some of these decks so we can at least move. Now, I want to talk about a deck in particular that I don't know is still available or not. You might have to check out the Crystallis Institute. And I know she keeps changing her, she changed her name. Now, it was Naisha Asian. Okay, the Crystal Alley cards. Now, this is the Evolution Edition. So, this is the second edition. I did have the original. Of course, unfortunately, it disappeared. So, I ended up with having to get this one. Now, the guidebook is brilliant. Companion book with the deck is absolutely brilliant. It does talk about the different ways that you can use the Crystal Alley cards through healing and meditation and a whole lot more, as well as the divination, of course. So, I don't know why I'm shuffling. So it is split into different suits, or different elements, if you like, with the earth, air, fire, water, and of course spirit or storm. They do call them wind, not air. So the cards have the have a sort of keywords or titles or things like that. And then the crystal itself, and then you can see the element on the outside, which is earth. In this case, there's the earth card there. And there's the storm card. This is a wind card. So you can sort of see the difference here. There's a water. Oh no, storm. It's a storm card, sorry. Card. There's the water cards. Don't know why it's wrong before. Right, okay, so you can sort of see. Oops, I'll put some of these not the right way up, sorry. Really should put my glasses on, I might be able to see better. Sort of really amazing sort of photos, sort of cards. Quite cool the way they're done. Fire card. I love working with this deck. In the book itself, does talk about the chakras that are related to each card as well, and it does have an affirmation as well as a little bit about the crystal and the properties and things like that, and then the message that comes from the card itself. So there's quite a lot involved in this guidebook. You do get quite a bit with it, and so I think it's quite important to, yes, you can do quick readings with it if you just want to do a really quick reading and do a little bit of a meditation or reflection or a little bit of healing or anything like that. But to really get to know the card or to share the knowledge, the guidebook is absolutely brilliant. Really, really well done. There's the storm card, which is just sort of your spirit. So yeah, really, really well done. With the new edition, some of you may still have the original. This has got a few different cards in it. There are some changes to this deck. There's your water. So yeah, absolutely awesome deck. Crystal Alley cards, and of course they changed the back and gilded edges. I just keep it into this pencil case there. But yeah, absolutely excellent guidebook there. Okay, put that to one side. Okay, next is, okay, let's do these two. Well, I'm going to end up losing them. I think I might do these. Okay, I just dropped a deck. Now, this was a Kickstarter, and I know there was a second Kickstarter done as well, a second edition done with some changes and things by Hayley Clare. So this is Shadow of Light. Excellent guidebook. Excellent guidebook. I love the art to this. I think she made some changes within the second edition. I don't know because I didn't get it. But yeah, I've got to the stage where I have my copy and I'm happy. I'm not worried about getting a second copy of some of these decks because I'm quite respectful with them. Like I, just the way I take care of them, I don't feel like I'll have a problem. And because I'm reading online for people, so nobody's sort of touching my deck, so to speak, just me. And of course I've got clean hands when working with the decks. So I love the artwork. It does have a keyword on. It's got the number, the title, and then a little bit of extra underneath. And then when you go into the guidebook, it gives you a whole lot more. Asks you some questions, and it's got a little bit of a sort of a poem sort of thing, a little bit of poetry in there, and yeah, a little bit more about the card. So beautifully done. I think the artwork is stunning. I love it. Unfortunately, with the pen that I used, it has bled a little bit into the cards, but I don't think it matters. So yeah. So that's the Shadows of Light. Now, another deck here that I got as a Kickstarter, put that to one side, was the Compendium of Witches. Now, I know this is mass market now, but I got this as a Kickstarter. So this is my indie deck. Now, it's a beautiful guidebook, of course, beautifully done. Beautifully done with the witches and the voices. Now, they're split into two sections. You've got the witches and then you've got the voices, which I think are absolutely gorgeous. So let's go through the witches first. Now, they're not in any particular order. Remember, I haven't put any of these decks in order, so they're as you see them. I think they're just, the artwork's stunning. So that gives you an idea of all the witches. And so you can see there's a number and a title in there. And when you go to the guidebook, it's going to give you a lot more information about the witch herself and then the message. So absolutely gorgeous. Now, with the voices, it's a little different. It hasn't got a lot in there. So it does have the, on the card itself, does have a title. And in the guidebook, it does give you a couple of it does give you a few keywords with the image. It doesn't really give you a lot. Like, there's not a lot of information. It just gives you some keywords to work with the card itself. I think it's really about using your intuition or you know, meditation, reflection, that sort of thing when you listen to the voices. So like I said, it does give you some keywords, but then you've got to expand from there for if you're doing a reading. Where the witches give you quite a bit of information about the witch herself. So yeah, beautiful deck. Beautiful deck. So yes, so it is available as mass market now, but this was the Kickstarter. I just like to put things back in the box because I'm living in such a small space. It's nice to sort of put things back as we go. Okay, so next with Kickstarters. Now let's do... Oops. Now, this artist actually has two that I've done, Mandy Pedersen. Now, when you purchase her deck, you have the choice, you know, if you can purchase it from her website, Mandy Pedersen. You can, been able to, she does do a collection of different decks. There are other decks available, so if they're still available, she'll have them on her website, with Mandy Pedersen. Okay, so yeah, this is two of her decks. Uncover Your Past Life and a Healers of the Earth Oracle. Both Kickstarters for me, so I got them through Kickstarters. But yeah, they are available. Now, when you order, you have the choice of a PDF or a book, depending on, because of where I live, and because I live in New Zealand, a lot of times I'll just opt for the PDF and then I'll get it printed out for myself. So yeah, so that's the best way, is when you order a deck from her website only order from her website. Please do not order from anyone else, and it always comes in this beautiful box. So this is the Uncover Your Past Life. Now, you've got the front of the deck, which has the image with a keyword, and then it's got some other keywords around the outside that you could use in the reading. Now, on the back of the page, on the back of each card, should I say, the back of each card, you've got the identity, time frame, lesson, death, location, trauma, faith, and love. Okay, when you're shuffling the cards, you're thinking about one aspect of this. Are you thinking about the identity? Are you thinking about the time frame? Are you thinking about the lesson, or the death, or the location, the trauma, or the faith, or the love of the situation? I think that's really important, to stay focused on one aspect, if that's what you're using for the back. If you're just talking about energies of a past life and that sort of thing, or current energies that you're bringing through, then you're sort of asking that question, and these are the cards that come through. So there's a lot of, these are beautifully done, very, very well done, and in many different ways to do them. So it does give you a little bit of food for thought. And the best way to do this is just to do sort of one reading a day, or one read, what energies do I need to deal with at the moment? A lot of times is what what am I needing to deal with? What's important at this time? Is the best way of dealing with these cards. There are many ways to use these cards. Great for relationship. What lessons do I need to learn within the relationship? Whatever that relationship is. It's not necessarily an intimate, loving relationship. It can be any type of relationship with someone else. So, beautifully created deck. Really, really worth working into. So, best way, buy this deck directly from her website. And either order it, if it's still available. You'll have to check, but definitely that's the way to go, is always check the website of the creator. It's important to support these creators. They put a lot of time and a lot of effort into these decks, and so it's really important that we support them so that they're able to get the money, that we're actually supporting them, which I think is kind of really important. I love indie decks. I wish I could do a whole lot more, but I've had to be very selective in indie decks that I actually get. And I know that I have a few over time, because I'm living in New Zealand, and the shipping, unfortunately, has got a whole lot more. It's made it a little bit more tricky for me. But sometimes a creator can be quite generous and not overprice their shipping fees. I mean, it all depends on the size of the deck, what's included in the box, and I know shipping is expensive, and it's not the creator's fault. Sometimes it can be the post office where they're at, or different states will do different parts, and I don't know, because I don't think there's a set. I don't think you have like a nationwide agreement on postage like we do in New Zealand. We have the same postage all the way through New Zealand, depending on where, of course, where you're sending it. But when it comes from the States, I think there's many different fees because of the different travel distances that it may need to travel. So very, very different. So yeah, depending on where it's coming from to what the prices will be. But yeah, this is a beautifully created watercolor deck. Absolutely a lot of information. It takes quite a bit to sort of dive into, especially if you're sort of clearing away past life stuff. I like to use a pendulum with this deck, use it in my soul energy clearing past life. You can get I do like a sort of a shorter version soul energy clearing, as well as a longer version of soul energy clearing. So there's two you can have there at different times. You'll get what you need within the process here. So when you want to purchase anything that's larger from me, you can do part payment. You just have to let me know so that I can do a PayPal invoice for you instead of paying through the Ko-Fi. That's an alternative. You email me or message me or something like that and say, hey Paula, I'm interested in the soul energy clearing, but I can't afford to pay it in one go. Can I pay it in small payments? Yep, that's fine. No problem at all. We can sort that out. So yeah, awesome deck. Love it. Love the colours. Love the messages that come through with this deck. It's very, very interesting. Just put some blank cards in there, which I haven't used at all. Okay, the other deck that I've got was Healers of the Earth. Again, similar box. Beautifully done. And on here it says, we are all responsible for what we manifest at a greater level than ourselves, because we all contribute to a greater consciousness that is manifesting in the world. Okay, so yeah, mysticmandy.com. Okay, so let's have a look. So that's the back of the deck, of course, and here's the imagery. Very fey imagery. Just want you to go through very quickly. I don't want to show, I mean, I'm not going to spend hours doing this, but I do want to show you every card like I have all the way through this. So yeah, you get the number with the image, and then you'll get a title, and then you'll get some keywords underneath. So really easy deck to use. Again, with Mandy, you can you'll be given a link that you can download a guidebook, and then you can print it out if you wish. So yeah. I think they're really well done. Yeah, beautifully done. Just the imagery is just so beautiful. 1111. Okay, so that's that deck there, Healers of the Earth Oracle. Let's pop that in. So like I said, beautiful boxed. That's the thing when you know you've got a good indie deck, is because of the boxes, of course. That, you know, I mean, in some way. Right, so the next one I'm going to do is Rain Coast. Okay, I've got Rain Coast Oracle, Rain Coast Dreams, and Oracle of the Red Circus. Now, these are all done by Christoph James. So let's do the Rain Coast Oracle first. Now, it's done with some art. And then he's just got some words at the bottom. And unfortunately, it's very hard to see on the thing. But you can see the artwork. Let me read one of these. Okay, this one here says, celebrate your victory with a reward. Here we've got, withdraw for a time, gather your thoughts. So yeah, really beautifully done. See the colours, the vibrancy, the art is so unique. So only order from Christoph's website, Rain Coast Tarot. Make sure you only order from there. So make sure, yeah, make sure you only order from Christoph's website. Christoph James. So make sure, yeah, Rain Coast Tarot. Just showing you very quickly all the imagery, give you an idea. Okay. Now this deck comes in, of course, in a tin, and then his other decks I've got here are in a box. And you can see that there. Now he does authenticate. There is always a card that gives you a number or an authenticity within his decks. You'll see. Certificate. Okay, so you know that's his deck. Okay, now this one here, again with the art and a little bit underneath, like this first one says, no snowflake ever falls in the wrong place. This one here, a Zen master's life is one continuous mistake. When there is no desire, all things are at peace. So just to give you an idea. Just very quickly. This is a neat artwork. I think it gives it a real sort of spring feel. This is my sort of my summer deck. It's sort of the other one, the Rain Coast Oracle, is sort of like a wintry type one. And this one I feel is very spring summer. That one's very dark autumn winter. This is very spring summer. Okay, now the last one, of course, from Christoph is the Red Circus Oracle. Now I do have a couple of his, 3 of his tarot decks as well, which you would have seen if you've watched that video, that indie tarot video. So this one here, just wrote a little message. Thank you, Paula. So that's how I know it's definitely him. Okay, with this one here is the image that's on the card, and then you've got a title, and then you've got some words underneath. Very circus themed, of course. Very Victorian. Retro. I think it's a really neat deck. Really, really neat. This is great for, I used it, of course, for my I liked it with my Halloween readings. Yeah, so I think this is a really, but can be used at any time of the year, of course. As with any tarot or oracle, you don't have to limit it to the seasons if you don't want to. It's all about diving into the imagery, diving into the words, the keywords, the titles, and thinking about what does it mean to you. I mean, yes, you can use the basic meaning, but then you're expanding from there depending on what other cards come into a reading. You can use it as a 1 card for thought and reflection, or maybe you use 2 or 3 cards for a little bit more in-depth reading. I don't think there's any right or wrong way to how you choose to use your decks. That's one thing I love about tarot and oracle, is there's no set way really to use your decks. You use them the way that you want to. Yes, there are some traditionalists that will go, oh, must be used this way or must be used that way, or maybe the author or the creator had some idea of how they wanted the deck used or how they would use the deck. But really, when it comes into your hands, it's all about finding what works for you. So yeah, so we've got like fortune. Good fortune is in your near future. This may be a monetary reward, or it may manifest as a loving relationship, which I think is kind of cool. Alternatives. Unconventional medicines are suggested as an alternative treatment to any of your existing ailments. So yeah, kind of cool. Hecate, the Greek goddess of witchcraft. Drawing this card suggests that you may need to open your mind to other beliefs. Kind of interesting. The Sin Eater. Everyone deserves a second chance, however you should be wary about granting it at your own expense right now. Okay, so that's going to be it for today. I sort of want to keep these videos sort of under half an hour each one. That's why there's so many parts. Still got a few more decks next for the next video. Okay, so that's it from me for today. So we've got Christoph's Rain Coast Tarot range. Then we've Oracle range. Then we've got the Mandy Pedersen, of course. We've got the can't even say it today. A Compendium of Witches Oracle, which is now, of course, mass market. But of course, this was an indie deck. Shadow of Light, which has a 2nd edition. This was the first. 2nd edition of the Crystal Alley cards. But I don't know whether this is still available. You'd have to check that out. Yeah, so that's it from me for today. Don't forget to check the links down below. Check the links on my channel. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when the next video will be uploaded. Just say a big thank you to my Ko-Fi family. Thank you to everybody who likes the video, subscribed, and liked the video. Take care, and see you.